Okay, so first of all, okay, now it's 3:30 in the morning. I got home late, and I've just been doing stuff around the house. But whoever on my page, and this is clearly no friend to me. Okay, I don't care what you think or what you specialize in. I don't care if you're a therapist. I don't care if you work in the medical field. I don't care who or what you are. You're no friend to me if you're going to cause further trouble for me. Now, most of my videos are usually ministry videos. But lately, I felt like venting my personal business to people on here because I pretty much only have the same people on here for a long time now, and they're pretty much church folk or friends or whatever. There's about 555 people, not 5,000 people who don't even know me, but it's usually I'm in contact with quite a few people. In fact, I would delete most of you and just keep the people I actually know, like real close. But I don't want, if you're still on my page, you could have deleted me or blocked me a long time ago if you didn't like me. So I don't want to keep you from my ministry videos or whatever if you want to be on my page. But there's somebody, and these people, I hope they see this video, who is obviously trying to report me or get me in trouble. Because, first of all, I just came home and I checked my Facebook and it said somebody accepted my friend request. I don't see how they could accept my friend request when I don't even know who this person is. I did not send them a friend request. I haven't sent anyone a friend request in a long time. And when I go in, I'm like, who's this new 556 person that just accepted my friend request on my Facebook page? And I look, and the person, I have no idea who it is, and they specialize in medical or medical caregiver law. I did not seek anybody out. I did not add this person as a friend, but somehow they were on my Facebook page and they were added. Now, either Facebook has the ability to add people and get you in trouble and whatever, but why would I add a stranger I don't know who specializes in medical law? First of all, that seems like somebody's trying to get me jammed up. And so I don't know how that happens, but I'm tired of people appearing on my page. Nobody has my password, but Facebook could, I'm sure, or the government could do whatever they want. I'm sure they easily hack into someone's account. So I don't like that. I don't like that this person was on there so they can go and look through my Facebook page and watch my videos and try to get me in trouble. Okay? My job is separate from what goes on with me and Donna. Donna and I are close friends, family friends, and neighbors for many years. Donna is not a client of mine. She's not a patient of mine, okay? She's practically like my mother, okay? And she's somebody that I've been close to and friends with for many, many years. Then I lived next door to her, and, I helped her out a lot, okay? She's not a patient. She's not a client. She's a friend of the family that I live with, and she's practically like a mother figure to me, okay? And I've been living with her for 3 years and helping her out, doing what would normally require her to hire somebody to do, like cook, clean, whatever, homemaker companion stuff. That's what I do for work. And so it just happens that, hey, you know what? That's what I do anyway, so I don't mind doing it for you. right? But really, what I do for her anyway is what I would do for my own mother or grandmother or any family that I live with or anyone I live with. If you're roommates with somebody and you live here, of course you got to put money towards the bills. Of course you got to cook and clean and buy furniture together and whatever. So I hope people don't think that Donna is my patient or client. She does not pay me anything, and I don't charge her, and she's not like that. She's just like a family member to me, basically. And I help take care of her because I live with her, and because I was friends with her, and because she's a fellow Christian, and we even go to church together almost several times a week, and we have been for years. So it's the Christian thing to do to help her with my services. It's the friendly thing to do. It's the son thing to do as a son, as a pseudo stepson. So I want to make that perfectly clear. It has nothing to do with my paying clients from a company that I am hired at, that I've been working with for many years. So I want to make that clear. Second of all, I purposely don't take on cases anymore that require like medical stuff. Like, I'm not a nurse. I am not a nurse. I am a homemaker companion. I don't do CNA stuff. I have in the past, but I'm not like a licensed CNA, so I've toileted, I've showered, I've helped with Hoyer lifts, I've dressed people, whatever. When need be, if the family requires it, but I don't like doing that. I've done it for years, and I haven't been doing that in a few years. So I take easy cases now where all I gotta do, some of my clients, literally all I do is clean their house, dust, vacuum, clean, go grocery shopping with them or for them, and that's what I'm doing now with my other client. I don't take on any more cases. I've had cases with severe dementia. I've had cases, just real bad, violent people, very sick people. But most of my clients are very nice people, and most of the time, all they really require is assistance, getting in a shower or, and I don't even like doing that anymore because I just don't like it, So I choose the easy gigs where I only have to do like servant stuff, light stuff, help them with bills, answer phones, bring them to doctor's appointments, do their laundry, clean their house. So I'm more like a Mary maid, if anything, than any kind of medical thing, but it's considered the medical field regardless. So, but I am not a nurse and I am not a CNA. I'm not a licensed anything. I'm a homemaker companion, which is nothing more than a glorified person, a glorified servant, a glorified butler, a glorified cook, maid, housekeeper, a glorified housekeeper who actually spends time and keeps company with you. Like, a lot of times, me and my client will just watch TV together or go to the beach and sit down and watch, at the beach or whatever. And the families have all met me. And they all love me. And the client loves me, okay? So, all my clients love me. All of them. And them and their families have always raved about me and asked me to come back when my contract was up and this and that. And I don't like to get too attached because people get sick and die, and most of them do. They're old, and I don't want to get too attached, and then I become like family to them, and it makes it hard, It's like the same thing with Donna. She's like family, and so, I'm very attached to her. But my clients, I'm not. I try to keep a professional boundary with them. And, so anyway, I don't like that somebody's snooping on my page trying to jam me up. I don't like whatever piece of garbage, and that's what you are, a backstabbing Judas, unchristian piece of garbage, whoever you are, and I have a feeling, there's a couple people I'm wondering, and I've known for years that might be, it could be that, I'm not even going to get into details. I think there's 3 suspects already. 3. It might not be any of them, but I have 3 suspects in mind. One of them went out of their way to say a lot of stuff to me about my videos complaining about my situation with Donna. Another one, it tends to keep things very quiet, but it doesn't mean, and she's pretty high up in, Yale and stuff like that, so I wouldn't be surprised. 2 of them, actually. 2 of them work for Yale, and I don't work for Yale, but the point is, 2 of them work in the health industry as a profession, and so, I don't trust either one of them with this. One of them especially, since she just went berserk on me the other day and falsely accused me about a bunch of stuff I didn't even do, and then I just unfriended her, and I should just block her, but because, obviously she's just a troublemaker, so maybe she's upset that I unfriended her now she wants to make waves for me, I don't know. But listen, when somebody does a Facebook Live, okay, and they're venting, and they're just talking to people, because I have family and friends on here, or cousins, and close friends, stuff all over the world on here, and I'm just talking to them on here because they don't use phones and texting and all that stuff. We talk, and it's easier for me to do a Facebook Live and explain what's going on in my personal life than it is to have to get on the phone and call everybody, or text it all, or email it all, or whatever, right? And I also like to be able to show people the ups and downs in life and the Christian life, and teach by it, right? Use it as an example. Good example, bad example, this is what's going on, My life is not always blessed. I'm not always flying high and, oh, hey, hallelujah, like some of these other Christians. In fact, my life is very rarely ever like that. Now, some people will attack you behind your back and not say anything, or report you, thinking they're doing somebody some justice or whatever. Whether it's out of jealousy, whether it's just out of anger, maybe they just don't like me and they just don't tell me that, and so they just wait to screw you over. I mean, you never know. The point is, social media can get people in trouble and jammed up very easily. You can lose jobs, because people have to be jerks, and I'm trying to watch my language here, but you know what I really want to say? It begins with an A. But people can be such jerks, especially towards Christians, if they're not a Christian, or if they're jealous of you, if they don't like you, whatever, they don't agree with you, or they get just a busybody and got nothing better to do with their time, or they want to be some narcissist who feels like, oh, well, I'm a therapist, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a lawyer, or I'm whatever, or I've done this in my life, and blah, 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 or I'm a caretaker, and they feel like they have to get on their soapbox pedestal and try to save the world. And what they don't realize they're doing is causing trouble or adding to people's trouble when they're already down. That's not necessary, okay? So, if you're not my friend, like I said in other videos, get off my Facebook page, okay? Don't try reporting me and getting me jammed up or kicked out on the street or lose my job or any of that garbage, okay? First of all, that is not a friend thing to do, and if you're not my friend, and if you're not following me for ministry, then get off my page. You don't need to be on there anymore, because we have nothing in common. We're not friends. You obviously don't care about me, so you don't hang out with me, don't talk to me, whatever. You don't need to be on my Facebook page. There's no need to follow me. There's billions of other people you could follow that are far more interesting than me. So if you're on my page, I assume that you're either my friend, that you care about me, which means you love me, or that you have something in common with me. Maybe we're part of the same organization, or maybe you're a Christian. And again, if you're going to be a Christian, I expect you to act like a real Christian. And that double-minded, fork-tongued, backbiting, go behind your back like a Judas, report you and try to get you in trouble and jammed up with authorities type of garbage is not Christian. It's not friendly. It's not appropriate. Okay, there's no reason. Like, if you see me committing a crime and you can prove it, or you see me like doing something that you think is not right, and other people say it's not right, like you see me like beating somebody or something, or committing a crime on my video, or then okay, yeah, you could report me by all means, but you don't need to get involved in my life if you're not going to add to it, like add positivity and love or help me in some way, then don't do anything at all, okay? Because I don't want you making things worse in my life. My life is already bad enough. You don't even know, and so you don't need to go add trouble. And I'm so tired right now. I was about to go to bed, but when I saw that, I just got really upset. Okay. Now I will give a status update. Now, first of all, I am not violating HIPAA law because my friend / stepmother / roommate Donna knows that I share this stuff on Facebook. I show her the videos, first of all. She's okay with it. She doesn't care if people know her business or whatever, because as a Christian, first of all, she knows that there's a lot of people on my page that care about her, that she's met a lot of you, and she's been in a lot of my videos in the past, and she knows that she needs prayer. Okay? So she doesn't mind having 500 people know what's going on so they can pray for the situation. She's told me that. She's not like, it's not like I'm telling you gory details about real personal or sexual things or something about somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not showing nude photos or photos of her at all or video footage of her. I'm not giving out social security numbers or, you know what I mean? So, she doesn't care. Just like I'm an open book. I share with everybody my health issues. Now, I don't see the big deal. See, as a Christian, I don't really have anything to hide. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not guilty of anything. There's no crime. So who cares if somebody knows I have a bad back? Who cares if somebody knows I have bowel diseases like colitis or whatever? I really don't care. I mean, I know that that's stuff that's for proud, secular, non-Christian people who have an issue with image and pride and always worry about what everybody's going to say or think about them. That's not Christian mentality. So of course they're going to not want nobody to know their personal life. Oh, I don't want everybody knowing everything. Oh, well, that's you. That's your choice. But Donna and I don't really care. We always talk to everybody. Even in church, we sit there and throw all our garbage on the shit. Like, everybody knows. Because there's nothing, like, who cares? No, Donna was a nurse for 50-something years. And she tells everybody everything I've already said on here. So she tells everybody about her daughter or whatever. Now, I've never mentioned anybody's first and last real names, or where they, so you can't even, you wouldn't even know who I'm talking about unless you had their full name and their address. And I don't do that. I'm not stupid. I don't put out personal phone numbers, addresses, details, about anybody. So if somebody has a problem, in other words, what I'm saying is somebody had mentioned, you got to be careful of HIPAA laws. Well, okay, well, guess what? These people are not my clients. They're not my patients. They're more like family. Okay? Second of all, I'm not working for any company that has, that I'm violating HIPAA laws for. Okay? Third of all, we're not in a hospital or any kind of facility. Fourth of all, these people don't care. They're the first ones to share their business with everybody, just like I am. They already know. Fifth of all, HIPAA is something that, like, an employer or a doctor or whatever is not allowed to reveal to people. Like, if I'm your doctor and I have your medical file, I can't just go online and tell everybody what you got going on. And I don't do that in great detail either. I've never mentioned specific, except for myself, specific exact named problems or diseases, really, that people have. I've mentioned my opinion of what I think they have or think is wrong with them, but it's not illegal for a normal lay person to make a video and say, hey, I think so-and-so has this disease, possibly, that in my opinion, like, this is how they act, this is what I think, or this is what I've been told, or this is what they're telling everybody, so it's already public knowledge, or, whatever. So I don't sit there and break it down and say, okay, let's get their medical file out. Okay, the exact name of the disease is blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't do that. I'm not that stupid, and there's no need. So don't sit there and try to get me in trouble or say I am violating people's privacy or HIPAA, okay? Because I'm not. I'm not. There's a fine line, and you got to be careful. If I was working, like if they were paying me as a caretaker, and they were actually my patients, and I did that, well then yeah, I'd be treading on dangerous territory. But these are my family for years now, like almost 10 years. Donna is like a mother to me, and her daughter is practically like a sister to me. Like, that's how we are. And so even in my family, there's sibling rivalry and there's, issues. Every family's got issues. And even if we were all just close friends, which we are, and neighbors, which we are, there's no law saying that you can't talk or about stuff or events or, there's a fine line. It depends on the intention. Like if you're trying to gossip or detract from somebody or slander somebody for the sake of that, But if somebody does something to you and you just want to complain about it to other friends or vent about it or teach from it, that's not a violation. That's not a sin in God's eyes, and it's not a legal matter either. So, again, just because if I'm making a video about one of you out there on my page, and you have a problem with what I'm saying about you, then you could address it. You can tell me or whatever. But I'm not. But you have no right to get involved in my life, in my business. You can listen to what I have to say. You can private message me if you want to help me or encourage me or tell me what you think. But you don't have to go far and get involved in my personal situation, especially if you're not asked to. You don't need to go and try to save Donna and her daughter from me. You don't need to. I'm not doing anything they need saving from. I've already made myself very clear as to what's going on, and I've explained myself a million times, and I'm actually giving you guys another update right now because Donna's doing fine. I'm not going to tell you where she is, but she is in a facility as we speak for rehab, and she wants your prayers, and she told me to tell everybody hi. And we had a long talk there the other night again about everything, and I guess I got to watch from this point on because some of you guys are jerks, and you got to make a mountain out of a molehill and twist things, and so I can't even share anything with anybody on here because some jerk has to come along and make a federal case out of it, or say it's a violation of HIPAA, or telling someone's personal information, or whatever. If you're one of those stupid little pansies, whether you're a woman or a man, you're a pansy jerk. Lighten up, grow up, mind your business. Like, if I'm saying something about you specifically and you don't like it, fine, get mad. Get involved, but I'm not. So you don't need to come to the defense of other people in my life, you know what I mean? Like, just stop making a monster out of me. This is like I know I set myself up. I open up the doors to the enemy by divulging my personal life on Facebook, and that's why a lot of people won't do that, because you don't know who's watching. And there's always 9 out of 10 times you're going to find bad, evil people with evil intentions, whether jealousy or just because they got nothing better to do than be a jerk, or they don't like your Christianity, or they just don't like you, or they're jealous, whatever, and they're going to try to poison your wells. Like if you tell people where you work, they'll go and make anonymous calls or show up and try to get you fired. I've had that happen to me before. So I don't tell people where I work. I don't give the name of my company. When I post stuff on Facebook, it's after I've already left that job. I don't ever share where I'm working presently on social media, because I don't need anybody showing up at my job or calling me at work or knowing my personal business. Like, that's just stupid. I don't give my personal address out where I'm living. I don't give my phone number or email out. I don't give my place of work out, because that's not appropriate. You don't need to know that, and it's not safe. Okay? So, I already say too much. But I'm not going to be paranoid and sit here. I mean, I pretty much know the 555 people that are on my page. They've been the same people for a long time. It's the ones that get added without me adding them even though I changed my password. So I know nobody has my password. So when somebody gets added, oh yeah, this person who answered your request, I never sent a friend request to this person, and it's somebody who's like law enforcement or like just something that's odd, but it always ends up pertaining to a video that I talked about. You know what I mean? Like if I'm talking about something about medical something or whatever, suddenly I have an extra person on my Facebook page who works in medical law. How that's not coincidence. That's so random, and I don't even know the person, so why would they be on my page? So I found that out and I blocked them immediately. I removed them, unfriended them, and blocked them. So I don't know if Facebook put them on there. I suppose they could. I don't know if somebody else told them to try to add me or whatever, but I didn't add them. So that's what bothers me. And I did not send them a friend request. I don't even know the person. They don't even live around here. And all I know is they specialize in healthcare law or health caregiver law. I didn't even know there was such a thing. But I guess you'd have to have that for bad health caregivers or whatever. I don't know. Now, I also received a very strange phone call the other day. I was supposed to be at an appointment today, a doctor's appointment, which I thought was pretty important. I've been trying to make an appointment with my primary care for quite a while. And I'm probably going to switch primary cares now because I ended up not going. I didn't realize that I thought the appointment was scheduled later, and it turns out it was really early in the morning, and that wasn't going to work for me, and so I didn't go. I wasn't feeling good. I was tired, and I just didn't feel like going, and also because, I'm violating my own HIPAA here by talking to you, and I can do that because it's my personal business, and if I want to talk about it and share it with the world, I don't care. Like, you have no right to sit there and say you can't say these things. I'll say what I want. I'm sick and tired of you libtards, you stupid Democrat, communist, socialist, libtard, liberal. I can't even say what I want to say. Idiots, jerks, unchristian, un-American, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, jerks out there who got to sit there and try to tell people what's politically correct and what's not, what they can and cannot say or do on Facebook or in public, or what they can and can't post, or you're going to fact check everything. Mind your business. Go do something. You got obviously you have too much time on your hands. Go get a second job. Go work at a food pantry or something, a soup kitchen. Go ahead and do something good for society instead of sitting around trying to judge everybody and going after Christians or people who want to be able to exercise their amendment rights, their constitutional rights, and you want to take them away. Why do you live in America if you want to live in a Nazi communist country? Socialist, go move to Russia, go move to China if you don't like freedom. You want to do what you want to do, you hypocrites. You'll break all the laws or whatever, but you want to jam everybody else up and tell them that they can't do stuff. We had the amendments in the Constitution for a reason, to protect us so that we can preach our religion publicly too. Yeah, imagine that. Without being told we can't. We had those rights so that I can make videos and have freedom of speech and I can say whatever I want. I mean, I should be able to say what I really think about the president or you or anything, and it should be okay. And you can do the same about me. You can say, I think Steve Deneau is a stupid, ugly, fat, conservative piece of junk. And that's your right. You what? I'm going to take your freedom of opinion away from you? Your freedom of speech? Your freedom of press? You can write what you want. You should be able to film what you want. You should be able to say what you want. That's why we're in America. We're Americans. It's a free country. But it's not anymore. Because you stupid Democrat liberal morons, un-American, un-Christian morons, liberals, are like taking everybody's rights away, and oh, I'm offended. I want to cut my penis off and be a girl, and you have to like it, and you have to give me likes and little hearts on my Facebook and encourage and enable me. Don't say anything that's going to hurt my feelings. Oh, no, I don't have to. I don't have to like you. I don't have to agree with you or what you do. It's just, I think it's disgusting. It's stupid. It's insane. It's not appropriate. I don't care if everybody thinks it's okay. Oh, love is love. No, it's not. Stop saying love is love. That's not love. If you really loved a person who's doing that and mutilating their body and trying to be a fake somebody instead of a real nobody, then you need to tell them, I love you enough to say you make a really ugly woman. You're a man. You've always been a man. You make a real ugly fake woman. It's not working for you. It's not okay. It's a sickness. You need help. Okay? It's against God. You can go to hell for that. It's not natural. It's creepy. Yeah, that's what you should be telling them, and say, I liked you better the way you were, as the real person you were. You know? And they should, and if you're going to go and dress up in drag or become a woman, then get ready to face the criticism. I mean, you want to parade around the streets or the office like it's Halloween, then, hey, someone's going to say something. Not everybody's going to like it. Now, if you're ready for that, go ahead. You know what? Do what you got to do. But do not tell me I have to be okay with it. That I have to change my theology, my whole mentality, my whole life, my thoughts, my opinions, and say it's okay. Because I don't like it. It's gross. It's ugly. It's not okay with God. It's not okay with me. But I'm not the one that has to do it. You want to go around wearing your mommy's panties and dress or whatever, then have at it. But I think it's ugly, unnatural, unnecessary, unchristian, ungodly, disgusting, immoral, unethical, just gross and psychotic and whatever. But it seems to be that the whole world is going crazy now, and they call what's normal and good evil, and they call what's evil and unnatural good. Just like the Bible said it would happen in the end times before Jesus came back and kicked your asses into hell where you belong. Oh, did I just say that? Well, he's gonna. He's gonna. And I can't wait, because I am so sick and tired. And so, I'm one of those Christians you hate. Yeah, you hate because I'm not your friend, I'm your enemy. Yep. I'm not your enemy, but the Bible says that we're at enmity with each other. If I'm trying to obey God and the natural way of things, the natural law, the natural order, and you are trying to basically tell God to take a hike, in worse words than that, and then you want to go and change the natural way, the natural order, be immoral, disgusting, unethical, you want to push your mental illness and make it a normal thing, then no, I'm not okay with that, and I don't care what you think of me. I don't care. Why should we? You give that evil an inch. You give sin an inch. You change the laws and times to approve these things, and now look what happens. You've got a rise in public Satanism, sadomasochism, BBM or whatever that crap is, or S&M or what. I don't all this nasty stuff. I don't do that stuff. I don't even sleep with anybody, so I don't know what this nasty fetish is garbage. There's pedophile rings and human trafficking. It doesn't end there. And then it's gay marriage, and now it's men trying to put children's fetuses inside their own stomach and carry a baby to full term in a man's body. I mean, people changing their gender and their identity, and it never ends. It's like you open up Pandora's box when you stop doing things God's way or the natural order. You violate the commandments, and now all of a sudden it's utter chaos and confusion. And you people say it's good. We call it progress. We should all be able to do whatever we want to do. But no, you shouldn't, because there's laws for a reason. To keep the peace. To keep people safe from people like you. Keep our children safe and whatever. So with all the garbage going on in the world right now, you don't need to be worrying about me violating HIPAA laws, because one, I'm not. Two, it doesn't pertain to my life, my people, and my situation. If it was a client I was talking about, and especially if they didn't know it, and if they were being filmed or whatever and they didn't like it or know it, or if I was telling their business, their personal business, then yeah, I can get fired for that. I can get in trouble for that because that would be a violation of privacy and of, all kinds of stuff. I don't do that with at my job. What I do for Donna, I do for free. It's not a job. I live with her. I'm her roommate. I'm like her son. And I happen to be a caregiver. So when I say care, I don't shower her. I don't toilet her. I don't have to brush her teeth. None of that stuff. She's a normal person. She's 70, she's not like that. She doesn't need that kind of care. She's pretty, she still drives. The woman is fine. As far as, that, I mean, she just can't be alone all the time because she falls a lot and gets hurt and has strokes all the time. So, and there's a reason, there's a specific illness that she has, which I won't mention because I don't want to get in trouble for violating people's HIPAA laws and privacy and all that. But she don't care. And trust me, if I thought she cared, okay, I wouldn't do it. Now, you're going to say, well, you're always complaining about her and this and that and whatever. I have a right to complain about my mother, my friends, whatever I want to complain about, the church, the Pope. That's my right as a human being, especially on Facebook, with social media, on my own platform, if I want to talk. And again, if you don't like it, don't watch my videos. If you don't like me or what I stand for, if you think I'm a bad preacher, a bad hypocrite, a bad Christian, I've been called, a bad caretaker, then get off my page. Get out of my life. Don't talk to me. You don't need to make trouble for me. You don't need to be here. I don't need you. If you feel that way about me, then the feeling's mutual. I don't want you in my life. So go. Get out of here. But I know that 90% at least, because I'm in pretty much contact with 90% of the 500 people on my page, they want to be on here. They are for me, not against me. But every once in a while, someone will decide they're having a bad day, or they'll decide that whatever, they're against God or Christianity, or I said something that struck a chord, and they'll turn into a Judas. Do you know who Judas is? He's the disciple that betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver and got Jesus basically crucified. Okay? He was supposed to be Jesus' friend, a trusted brother and friend, and he turned out to be a backstabbing, evil liar who didn't care about Jesus or his best interest. He didn't understand or even care that Jesus was here to even save his soul and what Jesus was trying to do. He just was evil man, evil to the core, selfish, son of perdition he's called, and he betrayed the Lord for 30 pieces of silver, which he ended up giving back later on, and they ended up buying Potter's Field with it. I can't get into the whole theological background on it if you don't already know it, and you should know it. Everybody should know this if you're a human being. But if you don't, then you're ignorant of the scriptures, and that's your problem because I don't know what you're doing with your life, but everybody has the ability to go pick up a Bible and read, okay? Or go to catechism class, or, go to church. So if you don't know this stuff, shame on you. Shame on you, and you will be sorry when you die and you're standing before God and you don't know this. But hey, again, do what you want to do, right? But I have a right to say a lot on my Facebook page. If I want to talk politics, religion, that's the whole point of having your own Facebook Live, okay? There's people using it for very bad things. I don't. And so once in a while, or a couple times lately, because I've been having a real bad month, I've been updating people on literally what's going on in my life. I should not have to worry about somebody trying to get me in trouble or reporting me or making trouble with me or attacking me and turning on me based on my venting or crying out for help or whatever. Like, why would you do that? Obviously, the person's already down. They want to discuss something with people. They want to be heard. They want to update people on what's going on. Just because you wouldn't do that Maybe you wouldn't throw your garbage out on the street, so to speak, just because you're a closed book and not an open book like me, just because you're too full of pride and worried about what people will say or think about you, doesn't mean I and everybody else have to be like you. So get on with yourself then if you don't like it. Just because you wouldn't want your name mentioned, okay? For example, if you were in Donna's situation, that's you, okay? Mind your business. You ain't perfect. You people who are without sin, you're all perfect, you never do anything wrong, you never have a moment of weakness or a bad day. Why don't you who are perfect, throw the first stone at me? Otherwise, shut up. Go kick your rock somewhere else. Don't throw in my direction. People who live in glass houses should not be throwing stones. So anyway, I'm fed up with a lot of people. This is supposed to be Christmas week. And all I've gotten was attack after attack, betrayal after betrayal after betrayal from my closest people to people I don't even know. Okay? And I really, as a Christian and somebody who's proclaiming the gospel, the truth of the gospel. Do you know what the gospel is? I'm not even going to explain what the gospel is because you know what? If you don't know what that is, then please get off my page. Please get out of my life. I'm sorry, but please. At this point. Because, I've had the same 555 people on my page for a long time now. You know what I'm all about. You should know everything about me by now because I share it all with the world. And I do that because I'm trying to reach other people. There's a method to my madness. There's other people who go through the same thing or similar things, and maybe they're afraid to talk about it publicly, or maybe they don't think anybody else is going through that, or maybe somebody's hurting, or having the same issue, or has gone through the same issue, whatever. So then we can communicate. You can give me some pointers because you've been through the same thing. I can give you pointers if you need because I've been going through the same thing, whatever. But it's called social media. Because we want to socialize, and I know people don't do that nowadays in public, but we want to socialize with others to learn and grow, build up, okay, edify, teach, share our lives and our experiences, good or bad, with others. The good thing about Facebook is in social media is that we can choose who we want on our page as our friends and what they see and how much they see. So I should be able to feel comfortable with the people on my Facebook page to tell you anything. And so long as I'm not committing some heinous crime, then I should be able to talk to you and tell you how I feel. Okay? If I'm upset one day or angry or depressed or happy, or if somebody's blessed me with something, or if somebody, if I got a problem at home, or a living situation problem or whatever. And I should not have to worry about being attacked and kicked while I'm already down. But that's what I find keeps happening more and more lately. And to me, that's biblical. That proves that we are in the end times because the Bible said your own family would turn against you. Your biggest enemies would be in your own household. Best friends would turn you into authorities. All that stuff. Because the love of many will grow cold in the end times. Selfish, lovers of self and of pleasure, sin. Disobedience, disrespectful to parents. Okay? Proud, haughty, boasters. Okay? This is all biblical. This is what the Bible says is going to happen. People's hearts are cold and stony hearts. Okay? They're not fleshy hearts of flesh for the Lord. They're like stone. They're stone cold. You don't get any empathy or emotion or sympathy. They'll just stab you in the back for a penny. They don't care about anybody but themselves or who they choose to care for, and everybody else can go kick rocks. Okay? Is that not society now? Every man for themselves mentality. Dog eat dog world. Every man for themselves mentality. Survival of the fittest mentality. All that is unbiblical. It's not in the Bible. It's actually the opposite of what the Bible teaches. It is unchristian. It is ungodly. It is immoral. It is not love. So don't say love is love because, you're the same people who do this, what I just mentioned, and then you go and you wave a pride flag and go to a gay pride thing and say, oh, love is love, whatever, but you're cold, boastful, sinful, you're a lover of self, you're cold-hearted, stony-hearted, you hate God, and you hate Christ and Christians, everything the Bible said you would be. And the only ones who are not like you are the real Christians. And I say real Christians because there are people who call themselves Christians or think they're Christian, but they're not real Christians, because a real Christian knows the Word. A real Christian strives hard to teach others the Word, strives hard to live by the Word, strives hard to get it right. Now, we don't get it right. And so the other issue is that when somebody's trying to really be a real Christian, their light shines. It's obvious. And you know what happens? All the haters and the fake Christians and the anti-Christians come like thieves in the night. They come like roaring lions seeking to devour you. They can't wait for you to make the slightest mistake. If you have a bad day, you use a cuss word, suddenly they're called the accusers of the brethren, just like the devil. He's called the accuser of the brethren. On Judgment Day, the devil will be there telling Jesus all the reasons why you and I deserve to be burning in hell. Okay? They're going to sit there and he's going to have a list of all your sins. And the Lord already knows your sins too. But if you do it Jesus' way, your sins will be covered. If you don't, then the devil is going to be right. He's going to say, I got a whole list here of things Steve did. He is not worthy of heaven. You need to send him to hell. Your justice demands it. That's what he'll say. Well, you people do the same thing. You come after someone like me, and that's what I realize is happening. I don't even think that the people who cause trouble for me in my life, I don't even think they realize that it's not even probably them or their own ideas doing it. I don't think they know why they're doing it, honestly. I think that they don't have the Holy Spirit. I think that they don't have Jesus or a close relationship with Jesus. They're not Christian at all. I think that they're so far from the Lord, and so their hearts are cold, selfish, self-centered, and stony, looking for someone to attack to make them feel better about themselves. They feel justified when they're not. I think that they're proud and haughty and arrogant and a bunch of narcissists. I think that they don't know love, and I think that they've opened themselves up for demons to put thoughts and desires into their head and heart that they might not normally have. Like, go pick on Steve, go report Steve, go, whatever, don't like him, hate him, whatever. And that's what they do. They don't even realize it. Most people nowadays, even Christians, are so lukewarm or ignorant of the scriptures and of reality that they think that people like me are crazy, and I'm only telling you the truth of reality that the Bible says. But since the majority of mankind has decided they're not going to believe in the Bible, they're going to look at it as some piece of work of fiction, then they think that people who believe that work of fiction are crazy. But they don't see themselves the way we Christians see them. We see you all as a bunch of godless, immoral idiots who just sin all day long, and you don't even realize how evil you are. Like, everything you think is good is actually sinful and wrong and immoral and unethical and evil, and you don't think twice about it. You don't think twice about just causing someone to lose their job and start in trouble. Okay? The point is, the love of men has grown cold. People's hearts are stony. If you're not a real Christian, then you're just a lukewarm or apostate Christian, so you're going to act like the rest of the world who's not Christian. And you're all going to gang up on the real Christians. You're going to gang up on people like me just because you don't like what we say or what we stand for, or you think because I think I'm better than you, or maybe you're jealous, or you want to have a relationship with God, but you don't have one, and so whatever it is. You don't even know why you hate me sometimes. It's not me that you have a problem with, it's God and the Word of God that I'm preaching to you that you have a problem with. So you hate me by default because you hate Jesus. That's the truth. Jesus said they will hate you for my name's sake. Because they hate me. It's not you that they're after, Steve. It's me. If you're preaching me, it just bothers their spirit. Because they're not going to heaven. They're on the wrong road and they don't want to do anything about it. They don't want to repent. So they're going to come after you. They're going to find reason not to like you. And that's what it is. And I know this because I've been under so much attack all of a sudden. This is supposed to be Advent, Christmas season. And I have not had any peace or joy. I have not had a chance to actually... I told the Lord, I said, this Advent, I'm really going to focus on growing spiritually and really making the most out of Advent. And guess what? I have not at all. Christmas is in a few days. Advent, totally out the window. I didn't even get to go to church this week. Like, everything got messed up. There's so many things coming at me every day, from people trying to get me jammed up because of my Facebook videos, to Donna being hospitalized, to the cat dying, to just all kinds of stuff. Friends, 5 now. 5 in the month. Was it 4? 5? I think it's, we'll just say 5. 5 have basically shown their true colors all of a sudden after all this time, and have decided they don't like me all of a sudden. Some of them I went to high school with, some of them in the fife and drum with, some of them I go to church with. Some of them we were thick as thieves. They were like a brother to me for a decade. Like some of my closest Catholic holy friends, I thought they were. And then bam, just like that, out of nowhere, betray me or leave me or have a problem with me. A fight ensues, and then they're gone just like that. It's like, wait, what? Now, do you not realize what's going on? I do. I realize I've been preaching powerfully lately. And the thing that Satan hates the most about people like me, the thing that everybody hates about me, the people who hate me, and I'll tell you what it is. I am an open book when most people live behind a mask or a facade. Most people would never have the balls, forgive my language, to actually just say it as it needs to be said without holding back, and that's it. Ooh, political correctness. Somebody might not like me. I might get in trouble. But I don't care. Look at my life. No offense, I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but what do I have left? When you got nothing, you got nothing to lose. I don't even care if I die, and I'm not saying that because I have depression. I'm saying that because I want to go to heaven, and I'm hoping that when it's my time, I will go to heaven to be with my Lord, and I'll be happy. Because this life has not been happy for me. Okay, no matter whose fault it is, it's not been happy. I, as a Christian who's growing in seeing things more and more the Bible's way, through God's eyes, cannot be happy in this world. When people are not around, I can go to a beach and I can enjoy a sunrise. I can enjoy the beautiful earth that God created and the stars and all that. But then some people show up and mess it all up. Okay? It's the people. And I'm supposed to be able to love my fellow humans, but they're so far from God, most of them, so evil. They hate me automatically. They don't even know why. Okay, they ruin everything. They ruin everything with sin and debauchery and just people are the problem now. But what the people don't realize is it's not just them. They don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. And I'm trying to explain to you, if you do not have God in your life, you're an open vessel for the devil to fill and use, and you won't even know it. You don't have to be fully possessed to be oppressed or obsessed. There's obsession, there's oppression, there's possession, okay? Either way, the devil doesn't even need to demonically possess people anymore. He used to have to do that before because people were pretty closed off. Now everybody's such sin, such grave sin in their life that they're not even aware of because their consciences are seared. That they're just an open door for the devil and demons to come in and out and use. They put thoughts in your head and in your heart. Next thing you know, they use you to cause strife and division within the church, within politics, within your own family. Marriages are falling apart and ending in divorce. People are killing their kids, having 8 abortions now, like it's no big deal. It's a very big deal to murder your child. And some of you have done 8 or 10, and it's like, oh, well, and I'll do more too. My body, my right. You have no conscience that you've killed 8 of your children? Wow. Like, for a Christian, that's unfathomable. That's like, I feel bad if I have to squash a bug. I feel bad if I see an animal hit by a car on the side of the road. I don't like seeing any suffering. It really grieves me. I respect life. I love everybody and everything until they give me reason, and even then, I've learned to still try to be quick to forgive and to love anyway. But I will call you out on it and tell you that you're hurting me, that what you're doing is not right, that it's really bothering me. I'm very angry, or it's not fair. But I doesn't mean, like, okay, some idiots lately have told me you're a bad caregiver. Why? Because you've been doing nothing but bad mouthing Donna. You're so ungrateful. So based on a couple Facebook Live videos, you're gonna just take my whole 10-year relationship with Donna and sum it all up that I'm a bad, abusive caregiver who's only caring about myself and not thinking about her own good. This is what I've heard. But if you really knew us every day and actually showed up here and saw how we live most days, you would be like, wow, dude, you go above and beyond for that person. You're a real good caregiver. You genuinely care. Now, again, she's not my client. She is not my patient. She's like a mother figure to me, literally. She's like family. So it's different. She doesn't pay me to take care of her. I am a caretaker for a company, but it's very different how me and Donna are versus how I am with my professional clients. There's a difference, okay? Donna's a friend of the family. She's like a mother to me. I'm like her son. She tells everybody I'm her son, okay? That's how she sees me, So it's different than if she was a paying customer, okay? I don't have to worry about violating HIPAA with Donna and I. Both Donna and I have made videos together where we've discussed our personal health issues. What do we have to hide? Donna don't care. She wants prayer. Okay, here's the other thing. I know that not everybody on my Facebook is a Christian or a Catholic, right? But I still let you be on my page anyway because that's the point. I'm hoping to lead you to Christ, and I'm hoping to just be real, and I love everybody, and so I'm not going to be like, oh, you're not Christian, I can't associate with you. But those of you who are not, you're the ones that cause trouble for me. You're the ones that report me. You're the ones that get me my videos flagged, and my account's always being restricted. You don't like what I say. Well then get off my page. Why do you stay here just to make trouble? I'm under the assumption at this point, after all these years of having a pretty steady 555 people on here, it goes up and it goes down, but it never really goes below 554. So, and every time somebody leaves my page, they end up coming back, or I get two more, and then, they leave or whatever. But the original 554 have been here for a long time. So that tells me you enjoy me to some extent. Maybe you care about me. Maybe we're friends. Maybe you like my videos. Maybe you actually agree with a lot of the stuff I say. I mean, because I don't know about you, but I would not be on the page of someone I don't know. I would not be on the Facebook page of someone I don't like. I would not be on the Facebook page of someone who I do not agree with. Like, I'm not going to have Joe Biden. I don't care if he's the president. I wouldn't be friends with him, ever. I don't even want to see the man. But I wouldn't put him on my Facebook page. Like, I have nothing in common with that man. We don't think the same. He's not a Christian. He says he's a Catholic. He is no Catholic. He's a pedophile. I don't even get into it. The point is, I try not to associate with people unless I have something in common. Now, a lot of people added me over the years. I certainly did not go and add 500 people. A lot of them sent me friend requests. Some of them going back almost 10 years, back to like 2011, 2010, when I first got Facebook. And at one point I had 5,000 friends. And that was when people really liked me because I was younger and good looking, and I was doing modeling and acting, and I was on TV. And I had, people would always friend request me all the time because they'd see me on Channel 8 News or on, Hartford News, whatever. I was known around the area for being on TV frequently around here in Connecticut, or on the side of buses, or on billboards, or in restaurants, in those stupid travel magazines. So people say, oh, I know that, and they friend request me, or I went to high school with him, and suddenly, because you're famous, all of a sudden everybody wants to be your friend, right? And that was great. And I was like, good, I got 5,000 people here. Now when I show them that I'm actually giving my life to Christ, that's 5,000 people that my example can reach. And I might be able to lead 5,000 people. You know what happened? soon as I became a Christian, I'm not joking you, I lost at least 1,200 people within the first week or two of my ministry. And it went down so fast, the numbers. It took years to build, but weeks to months before I went down to about 600 to 800 people. And over the past, right before, a couple years before seminary, it went down to like 500 something people, okay? And now it's pretty much leveled out. So I was thinking, okay, I could just be me now, because my page is pretty much public anyway, so you don't need to add me to watch most of my stuff. I got nothing to hide. I'm meant to reach the world. And I do that by my own example, word and deed, okay? I don't, really care what people think of me, as long as it doesn't cause trouble for me. You're entitled to your own opinion. I think freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press is very important to me. We're American, it's a free country. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite and take away your rights. Just do your thing and leave me alone. But don't come at me, is what I'm saying, okay? So I basically presumed or assumed, and that's why you don't do that most of the 500 and something people on my Facebook page who've been there for a long time now probably are like me. Maybe they have my back. Maybe they're like interest. Maybe they're Christians. Maybe they've accepted me for me. They know what I'm all about. They've been on there for a long time. Okay. So how come all of a sudden, this year all of a sudden, after 3 years I've been here, all of a sudden this year, within the past month, I am all of a sudden being attacked by people from my own Facebook page? What am I doing or saying now that is different than the past 10 years? Nothing. Okay? So that proves to me that Jesus was right again, which of course he is, that we are this close to the end in the end times. Because people are literally being demonically influenced or influenced by media or whatever, because they have a void in there that's supposed to be a God-sized hole that fits God. And when they don't have God in their life and they're not living a life truly for God, guess what? The devil can jump into them and into their minds and start using them like a marionette and putting people to fight against each other. And that's what's happening. I'm seeing friendships ending over the stupidest things. I'm seeing battles in the church over the dumbest things, over common sense things. I'm seeing divorces, friends that belong together and they've been married for years and they have good families, they're beautiful couples, and they're attacking each other. I've seen best friends beating the crap out of each other in a bar. Like, something is very off here. And I'm noticing it escalating. Okay? Now, I know whatever was in that vax, I have no idea. I know that people are stressed out still and very much permanently damaged from 2020 and the whole COVID thing and whatever. People went berserk. People went crazy. I think a lot of you lost your mind being locked up in quarantine for so long. Me, I loved it. I mean, why? Because I'm always alone anyway. Like, for years before I moved here, before I went to seminary, and that's why one thing I didn't like about seminary was, like, I could never get away from people. Everywhere. I had to stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, like this, to be alone with God. Because you're living in a monastery with thousands of people, because it's a seminary monastery, and there's people from all over the world going to school there. And everywhere, I had to literally, even if I went into the basement, somebody was in there. So I would wait until everybody's pretty much in bed. Then I can go down and pray in the basement. There was a chapel in the basement, St. Mary's Chapel. It was spooky down there, especially at night. Nobody ever wanted to go down there. Hallways all the lights are off. It's dark. But I went down there and I would turn the lights on in the chapel. Nobody would know I was there. And I would sometimes fall asleep on the floor in front of the tabernacle. And I loved those quiet moments between 2 and 4 in the morning, just me and God. And it was really helpful. And I just find I needed to be away from people. Now I could have gone to bed and been away from people, but then it's like you fall asleep, you wake up, and you're thrust into go, 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 go again. So I had to wait till everybody was just go to sleep, and I can actually just walk around the whole campus. Sometimes I go out at night in the snow. It was so beautiful. Nobody's up at that hour, and I'm just walking around the seminary campus, and the snow's falling, and you can hear the flakes, and it was so quiet and so beautiful. And people thought I was odd, but I'm like, I love this, and I need to get out of here. It stinks in here. We're stuck indoors all the time. So the only time I have to myself is after 8 o'clock, and I want to get away from people. So I wait till everybody's sleeping so I can go and just decompress and just enjoy nature and think, and pray, do my rosary, whatever. And so that's what I do here with Donna too. She don't go to bed till like 2 a.m. So I got in the bad habit of being up all night because she's up or she's sick or something. I'm up all tending to her, whatever. But finally, when she goes to bed, she's out like a light. Okay, now I can make my videos. Now I can pray. Now I can just have me time. Now I sacrifice sleep sometimes, but it's important to me that I have me time. Or time to do my videos or whatever. Because I'm always with people, go, 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 every day, all day long. So, or the dog, even dog goes to sleep at this time. It's like, thank goodness, because he's really, like, always on you. And I love people, don't get me wrong, and I love my dog, but I need space to talk. These videos actually are therapeutic for me, because it's like a video diary. Instead of writing it all down, I'm talking to myself. I can hear it. I can go back and rewatch it later. I can choose to delete it if I want. But I know that people watch these things for whatever reason. I hope it's not just a drama factor. I hope that they get something from it. And I think that a lot of people who watch my videos watch them for the same reason I make them or the reason I watch other videos. We feel alone, or we are alone in life, or maybe we live alone. And this is the only thing that we have where we can feel like we're actually... Remember the days where you could have friends over and things were normal and more simple, and you have people over and you could have a cup of coffee or tea or something at the dinner table, or some cheesecake at 12 o'clock at night with a friend, or a late night phone call. I miss those days. Now everything's alone, quarantine, social media, social distance, and it's like we've lost touch. And so these videos make you not feel so alone, and people watch them because it makes them feel like they're sitting here with me. And the fact that it's live, they are sitting here with me. I've had friends tell me, and I don't mention names, but people like from Australia, for example, say they look forward to, in Scotland, they look forward to watching my videos, especially when they're live. And they know I always say it's going to be a quick video and it's going to be 2 hours long. So they go and grab some coffee and tea and they get comfortable and they sit on the couch and they just listen and they watch. And it makes them feel like I'm in the room with them and we're chit-chatting and, like we're there. And that means a lot to me because I'm glad to be able to do that for somebody. And in this world that's so fake media, fake Hollywood, fake everything, I think people just want to be able to get into the life of someone else. Like, did you ever just walk through a neighborhood and you can't do it, but you really would love to be able to look inside someone's house just to see how other people live and see how pretty it is and whatever, Sometimes we watch soap operas like Friends or The Golden Girls or whatever. Why do people like that? Or The Kardashians? Why do people like that? I'll tell you why. Because it gives you get your mind off of your own boring life or problems, and it gives you a chance to see how other people have it. What's going on in other people's private lives. And we like that. We do. We like to be able to know personal details. And I think that people like my ministry or like my videos because I'm raw, uncensored, and real. I don't hold anything back. I tell you exactly how it is, I mean, if you really wanted to know and you really asked me, and I'm just being a jerk, gross here right now, but if you were going to ask me what my poop looked like, if you really need to know, I'll tell you. I mean, look, we're human. It's natural. I mean, I don't go that above and beyond. Don't do that, please. But still, the point is, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I don't see the point because from a biblical perspective, God knows everything already. He knows every thought, intention. He's already in my tomorrow. He knows what I'm going to do right and wrong tomorrow before I'm even there. He's in my past, present, and future. He's in my mind. He knows what I'm dreaming about at night. It's in His Word. I just read it again last night. Or tonight before I went to work. No, I don't remember, but it was in there. The point is how awesome God is. And He says on Judgment Day, everything is going to be revealed like a movie in front of us. Everything we've done, good and bad, is going to be replayed from the moment we were born to the moment we died. How embarrassing is that going to be? And everybody is going to see it. When you're in heaven, everybody's like connected to God, to His mind, to each other, like telepathically. So in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye, you're just going to know everything. You're going to know everybody's business. Everything you did, everything everybody else did, it's just, that's how it is. You're going to, I don't know why, but that's just how it is. So that's why you're going to be accountable on Judgment Day, right? So I don't care if you picked your nose and flung it in someone's back seat. Guess what? On Judgment Day, you might have forgotten that, but God's going to show you that. And everybody there on Judgment Day is going to see that too. And so, you know my point. You know where I'm going, right? Every dirty little detail, sin, no matter how embarrassing, the good and the bad, it's all being recorded. So, knowing that, once I figured that out, I almost had a heart attack from shock. And then I said, you know what? From this point on, nothing else matters except for what God says and thinks. Like all my life, I was crippled by the opinions of others. My family always putting me down. Teachers and co-workers putting me down. Students putting me down. Bosses putting me down. In Hollywood, get a nose job. You're too fat. You're too skinny. You're ugly. You're this. You're that. You're that. Always judging and putting me down. My whole life, for some reason, I don't know why, and I'm not trying to be a victim here. I'm just saying, I've always been put down. And then I look at photos now of when I was in my 20s, and I'm like, I was good looking. Why did I allow people to make me think so poorly of myself? And then I realized, and I'm not puffing myself up here, but a lot of people, and some of them admitted it, were holding me back. And they were jealous of me. But I'm humble usually at heart, so I'm like not thinking, why would these people be jealous of me? I don't really have anything. I'm nothing special. I'm not super intelligent. I'm not that good looking. I didn't think. I didn't look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, I hate people like that. Like, oh, look at me, oh yeah. I don't do that. I don't go to the gym like in front of the mirror. Oh yeah, look at me. Oh, I hope everybody's gonna love my body. That's such narcissistic crap. I could care less. I really could care less. That's why I don't go to the gym. I never really did like to go because I could care less. But for somebody who could care less, I was on billboards and stuff, and that was kind of funny. That's the funny thing about it. I went into Hollywood and into modeling and acting because I wanted to prove to myself and others that I wasn't ugly and useless and stupid, and that I could hang in a store, and I could do it. Because everybody was telling me otherwise. You're ugly, you'll never make it, you're not model material. So I was like, yeah, want to bet? And I did it. But then I'm like, what am I doing this for? Me? And then those same people never even gave me credit anyway. So, but I knew that they knew I proved them wrong. So it was enough. But the point is, you can't live your life. Somebody's always going to try to keep you down, keep you back, tell you something. I wish I could go back knowing then what I know now. Wow, I'd be a powerful person. Because I could have enjoyed my life without being insecure. I could have walked down the hall with my head held high, not cowering all the time, thinking, I wouldn't have taken it. I wouldn't have known how to handle it. I wish I knew the Bible first. I wish I read the Bible when I was a kid, so I would have known how to navigate this life. But anyway, hindsight's 20/20, water under the bridge. That's why forgiveness is key to being a Christian. So what was the point? What was I talking about? The point is, I'm real, and I only care what God says and thinks about me now, because He's the one that's going to judge me and either throw me into hell or let me go to heaven. And I want to go to heaven. You guys are not going to be there on Judgment Day affecting me. Only God. And honestly, what you say and think about me, I want you to love me. It's nice if people think I'm attractive, but your opinion of me really is none of my business, and I really don't care. It doesn't change anything, really, you know? It hurts. It can hurt me. I would rather you like me, but I'm not for everybody. I know that. I know that my stepmother hates my very voice. Every time I would speak, she'd be like, ugh, your voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Eh. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you want me to do? Get throat surgery and change my vocal cords? Like, this is who I am. I can't do anything about it. Well, it's just, you just bother me. I can't stand you being around. Why would you say that to a kid all the time growing up, you know? Do you know what that did to me? I lost my mother. She killed herself. Then I get a stepmother in there who at first acted like our best friend until the day she got married. And then after that basically treated me like I was scum of the earth most of the time. She hated being around me. She always found fault. Nothing was ever right. She was abusive physically and mentally and emotionally. I mean, and yet I still love her because you know what? She's still my mother. She raised me from when I was 5. I looked at her and I always had the ability to be empathetic and look at somebody and say, you know what? Forgive them, Steve. There's obviously something wrong there. Don't take it personal. It hurts. They know not what they do. And that was before I became a Christian. I was like that. And then honestly, I got to tell you, one of the biggest reasons I became a Christian is, one, when I realized God loves and forgives me, even though I was not deserving of Him, such a holy God, and then that He died on the cross for me. But 2, I love that Jesus is a rebel with a cause. Like, I love that He was a loner and everybody for no reason. I felt like I can relate to Him in many ways because people hated Him for no right reason. He was doing this to save them, and they whipped Him and beat Him and crowned Him with thorns and tacked Him to a cross and killed Him. Do you ever feel like that? Like, you know you're a good person. You know that you're trying to do the right thing by people. You would never hurt a fly. But everybody treats you like you're scum of the earth. Like you're a problem. And you start believing it after a while. Like, if everybody treats me this way, that's got to be me. Maybe I am a piece of garbage. But then I started, the more I walk with the Lord, I'm like, no. I'm not going to just accept this because, no. I know that it's not true anymore. I've compared myself to the Bible, and I'm not saying I'm holier than thou, but a lot of this is their own issue. Plus, I went through years, believe it or not, people, I did go to therapy. Yes, I know a lot of people keep saying, you need a therapist. I don't need another damn therapist, okay? I have had multiple guidance counselors in school, by my own choice, by the way. It was always my own. I was never sent to a therapist. I always chose to go. And in my 20s, it was like there was an era where everybody had a therapist, and you weren't cool unless you had your own therapist. And actually not a therapist, a psychotherapist. So I had a psychotherapist in my 20s. Again, I chose to go to her. I was actually in some bad relationships. My stepmother was driving me nuts. I needed an unbiased professional opinion so that I knew it wasn't just me. And I found out from every psychiatrist, every psychotherapist, every normal therapist, they all told me the same thing. You can be anxious and depressed at times, but you're not clinically depressed. Your depression is coming from toxic people who are doing things to you. That would make anyone upset, anxious, and depressed. You don't need meds. After telling us everything, we know what's going on here. You're living with narcissists and people who are mean and cruel to you. It's a toxic environment. You've had a lot of trauma. So who wouldn't be depressed? Honestly, well done, because most people probably would need to be on meds. And you forgive, and you're still willing to love and not hold it against them. Wow. Like, that's what they told me. So then you got jerks on here who probably need a therapist themselves, or have a therapist, or maybe they are a therapist, so they automatically think everyone needs them. And they'll sit there and, you need a therapist. You're depressed. You have anxiety. Look, I can sit there and tell you sometimes in jest, you know what? I don't know why I don't just kill myself. But I don't mean it. The people who do stuff like that would never tell you. People like Robin Williams, people you would never know, like my mother, you would never know, because they would never say, I'm going to kill myself. Oh, I wish I was dead. They don't say things like that. They smile, they're normal, and then one day they're gone. And you would never even know. Because when they want to do it, they don't want you to stop them. So they're not going to make it obvious that they're thinking about ending their life. So you don't need to worry about me, because when I talk about it all the time, I don't do it for the reasons you think. I don't do it because I'm depressed and seriously thinking about it. No, I do it to teach by. I do it because sometimes you just had enough in life. Like sometimes, and as a Christian, this is actually a good thing. All the saints begged God to take them young and early. They just wanted to die and be with Him. So I know that most people nowadays be like, oh, you Christians are cuckoo and you want to die and you're suicidal. You don't understand. When you know Jesus and you know how awesome heaven is and you see this world, you don't want to be here anymore. You get to a point with your spiritual growth where you no longer fit in with this world. You no longer want anything to do with the world. You no longer have anything in common with the world or the people anymore. And you want to get out of here. You want to go to your reward in heaven and be with Jesus where you're happy and you're surrounded by other saintly people like you. But to put someone who's trying to be a saint in a world full of unholy, ungodly, unchristian sinners, that's like torture to us. Because our mind is not like that anymore. And we want better. And we know you could do better, but you don't listen. And we just... It's a lot because we want to help you, but we know we can't because you can't force people. They got to do it on their own. We pray for you. We don't like to see all the self-sabotaging. We don't like to see evil and sin and people harming themselves and others. And all the terrible things that we see from God's perspective is very painful. Like, God is not happy because He looks at this world and He sees so much sadness and unnecessary violence and evil and betrayal, and the list goes on. Sin, abomination, and He's a holy, loving God, a just God, and so you can't expect Him to be okay with this. And so the point of being a Christian is just try to be more and more like Jesus every day until you are another Jesus, until you become holy, a saint. You're transformed. This is Bible talk here. Transformed by the renewing of your mind and heart into the mind and heart of Christ. So you think like Him more. You love like Him more. You speak and act like Him more. You only want to please Him and the Father and do the Father's will. That's what a saint is. And the more saintly you become, the higher level in heaven you'll have when you die, but you'll also, you're on the right road. You're going to make it. If you're not becoming better with every year, every day, something's wrong. You're not being born again. You're not being transformed. Catholics is the same for us too. Actually, it's more of a Catholic thing actually than it is a Protestant thing. But the point is, I'm not the person I was last year or 10 years ago or whatever. And trust me, people loved me a lot more when I was a worldly Steve. When I was all about vanity and material. And I was never, don't get me wrong, I was never a stuck-up, haughty snob. I wasn't like that. I wasn't like Paris Hilton or, all these other actors. I was always kind of like this. I haven't changed my personality, my demeanor too much. I've always been real. I've always been down to earth. I've always been, raw, uncensored, whatever. But not arrogant, though. I wasn't cocky or arrogant. But I did fit in like a chameleon when I had to. Anyway, I could go on a movie set and enjoy it. But I wasn't like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. I didn't care. I'm like, okay, it's just a job. I get it, good. I don't get it, good. So my heart wasn't maybe in it, or I wasn't in it for the wrong reasons. I don't know. But the more I started walking with Christ, I started realizing that business is all about fame, fortune, sex, drugs, Satanism, arrogance, ego, pride, vanity, money. These are not things that belong in a Christian's heart and mind or life. So, it wasn't easy, because those things are very appealing, and I had them, but you gotta make a choice, and Jesus is the opposite direction. Like, basically, right here, this photo is a pretty sobering image of Christianity. So I went from runway model to trying to be like this. And everybody who knew me was like, what are you doing? What have you done, lost your mind? Like, why do you want to be a Christian? Well, because God called and He did wonderful things for me, and I fell in love with Him. I understood Him. His ways are hard. Don't get me wrong. It is very hard not to sin, but I still love His Word because I get it. I agree with it. I absolutely have no issues with any of God's laws. They all make sense. And even the Old Testament kind of makes sense. But thank God we're not under the old law. But I get it. I just get it. I understand. And then I look at the world and I realize you have to be tough on these humans. You have to be strict. Because you give people an inch and they take 10 miles. And that's the problem. You can't... Evil. I'm going to end the video with this because it's 5 a.m. and I got to get some sleep. Sin is evil. And evil must be controlled and contained. Even in your thoughts, your heart, your life. Because it will sink you. Evil is like water. And you are like a ship. Virtue is like a ship. And if there's even a little crack in the bow, it will not take long before it opens up into a tremendous flow of water and the place will sink. Okay? You can't let evil into your life, your body. You can't let sin into you, your heart, your body, your life. It will sink you. It'll bring you to hell. It'll destroy you. It's the opposite of everything. It's like you're all nice and clean and showered and wearing all white, and sin is mud, and somebody's throwing and spattering it all over you. You know, it's kind of defeating the purpose. It's darkness. It's not. Sin is like cancer. Would you want cancer in your body? Everybody supposedly has cancer cells in their body. Our immune system does a good job fighting it off most of the time. But cancer is not foreign. It's already in us. It comes from us. It mutates. It's not like HIV, which is another thing that you wouldn't want, right? You wouldn't want AIDS or any kind of disease, right? But sin is like HIV, AIDS. Sin is like cancer. You don't want it in your bloodstream. You don't want it anywhere near your body. Because once it's in you, it's going to wreak havoc. And it's always going to be a threat. Even if your memory, you got to change your mind. Why do you transform your mind? Because we have memories that are very sinful. And if we don't block them out or forget them or get rid of them or get them under control and submit all thoughts under the obedience of the Word of God, then it will constantly be played like a porno movie in front of you, and it's going to get you tempted. You're going to be tempted when you think about certain things. Like, for example, if you had girlfriend or boyfriend that you used to sleep with or whatever, right? And they were hot and whatever, okay? Back before you gave your life to Christ and you were promiscuous. All of a sudden, the devil will take those memories and flash them before you again. And it's like, bring them to the front of mind. And like, and then you're going to see that image of that person again, and you're going to start lusting. And now, boom, you're going to fall. You have to make sure that 3-second rule. If something pops into your head, you literally, and I've proven this time and time again, you don't have more than 3 seconds. You need to get it out of your mind within 2 seconds, hopefully, because after the 3rd second, now you're going to have... Alright, I'm just going to be honest. As this is how it is with me and probably every guy, and maybe even women. They have different anatomy, but say there's a pornographic thought that pops in my mind, and it would normally get me aroused. But it usually takes about 3 seconds for me to continue looking to consent. 3 seconds to shoot that down and get it out of my mind and think about something else. Like Jesus. Okay, if a naked girl pops in my mind, I got to immediately say no, and think about Jesus or something else. Because after 3 seconds, if I'm still thinking about that and I'm like, nice thought, I might as well be staring at a photo or opening up a Playboy magazine. I'm consenting to keep looking at it, and I'm visualizing it in my mind, and now I'm in danger because guess what happens after 3 seconds of looking at a naked picture in my mind, even if it's just a memory? You start getting aroused. Your body sends signals down there now, and once that beast awakens, you're probably going to do something, if you know what I mean. It's very hard, especially for a guy. Once that starts, it's like gears. The engine turns on, and now it's like revving up, and it is very hard to say, okay, and just turn it off and walk away at that point, especially for men. So you have got to, and it's easier said than done, but a lot of times we keep things in our mind because we want them for later. We want to go back. It's like having nude photos of something or a magazine, dirty magazine. You keep it because you want to be able to go back and look at it another time. Well, sometimes our mind will store memories and stuff that are not befitting a Christian or born-again person, and you need to get rid of them because if you're keeping them in the back of your mind purposely for later use, okay, if you know what I mean? So it's better not to have it at all. That's why you have to guard your eyes, okay, the entrance to the soul and heart. You have to guard, because once you see a thing, it's in there. Your mind operates like a camera. Your eyes are like cameras, and every time you look at something, whether you can recall it clearly or not later on, it takes an image, and it puts it in your brain somewhere, and that's it. It stays there forever. So if you're intentionally looking at someone with lust, or you're looking at pornography or whatever, you're giving it permission to burn a permanent hard drive copy download in your brain, and it's going to stay there, and it's going to keep wanting to come back and play. When you least expect it, you could be in church, you could be sleeping, you could be waking up in the morning, and all of a sudden, and you have to be aware, no, stop, turn that off. Because if you don't change the channel, you're consenting. Like, so if you're watching TV and some new naked people pop up, you have to change the channel right away. If you don't, and you sit there staring at it for 3 seconds, you're going to end up watching it, or you've now consented, and you've done a double take, and now you're guilty because you did a double take. You intentionally looked. You need to learn how to look without seeing, is what Padre Pio used to say. If you're in a locker room with naked people, don't sit there and intentionally gawk and look, because you're going to do something. You're going to get yourself going. You should be able to look at somebody the way God sees them, as a brother or sister, or mother or father, and don't go to the carnal thoughts with the person, no matter how good looking they are. Don't do that. Just learn to see them as if you were, well, I can't even say as your own child anymore, because so many people are perverts, and they're looking at kids now, and it's disgusting, but the point is, you're not supposed to look at anybody naked ever. Not even yourself too long, okay? Seriously, that's biblical. And there's a reason, because God knows what the devil's going to do with those thoughts later, and what we are weak. So you should avoid things like that at all costs. But if you happen to be like standing at a beach and somebody's in a string bikini and they're talking to you like you're a lifeguard and they're talking to you or whatever, don't be like, don't keep eye contact and look without seeing. Like, what you're seeing and but don't make it intentional to see it, in other words. And then your mind won't recall. You're not really paying attention to it, so you're not probably going to be able to visualize it again later. But if you look with intent, you're putting a permanent copy in your brain, and it will haunt you later. Now, obviously, if you're taking an exam and you're studying or you're reading the Bible, you want to intentionally remember things. But if you're looking at sinful stuff or something sinful is going on, you do not want to intentionally look or engage in it. Otherwise, it becomes sin. It goes from temptation to sin in 3 seconds, because in 3 seconds your mind has seen a thing, it has figured out what that thing is and what the next step is, and now the next step is to either dismiss it or consent to it. And most people consent to it. If you're on a diet and you're not supposed to have sugary whatever, you see it and you're like, nope, I'm not going to have that. But if you keep looking at it intentionally and I remember what it tastes like, and visualizing and thinking about it, eventually you're going to snap and you're probably going to break your diet and you're going to go for it. So just don't tempt yourself. Walk away. Run away from it. So anyway, this is all common sense. This is common knowledge for Christians. It's, again, easier said than done. I think everybody knows this stuff. They just don't do it or implement it. But listen, if you want to get to heaven, you better start implementing it. It's not enough to just hear these things and to know these things, but you got to put them into action. You've got to use these things and bear fruit and become holy. I get so tired sometimes. I never tire of talking about this stuff for some reason. And honestly, that's another strange thing about me, that ever since Jesus and his mother got a hold of me, and I'd say around 25, 26 was when I really started, I have not been able to care much about, I don't have many other interests anymore. I used to have a lot of interests in life. Never really sports, but I liked fishing, I liked art, I liked, acting, I liked, just a lot of stuff. I studied a lot of different things, like earth science, nature, weather, the galaxies, like all kinds of stuff. I would sit and watch 8 hours a day of Discovery Channel and Health Channel and National Geographic and Science Channel and all that. But then all of a sudden, Jesus got a hold of me, and all I would do whenever I could was DVR 8 or 10 hours of just preacher after preacher after preacher, Bible show after Bible show, religious movie after religious movie. I'd read the Bible, I would pray, I'd read books on the saints. Like, I couldn't care about anything else but religious stuff. I just became a religious fanatic, everything, Jesus freak, I guess you call us, a Bible banger, Jesus freak. It's because I just can't get enough of it. It's my biggest interest. It's the only thing I love more than anything else in this world. It's what it's the only thing I'm good at now. All other things got set to the side or pushed off the table, and it's just, this is what I do. Every day, even when I'm not making videos, even if I'm at work, whatever, I'm always thinking about this stuff. Thinking about heaven. Thinking about hell and hoping not to go there. Thinking about the Bible, thinking about preaching, thinking about Jesus, thinking about prayer, whatever. Like, I have a different mindset now. Like, that's what they're talking about when God gets a hold of you and gives you a new heart or a new mind. Suddenly, yeah, you appreciate the world and the things in it, but you don't appreciate to the same level. You don't base your life around it anymore. Like, if you have it, great. If you don't have it, great. At one point, I used to want to have a big mansion and sports cars and all that stuff. And now I'm like, if I have it, okay. If I don't, good. Like, who cares? So it's weird, but it's appropriate. It's the way it should be. And again, it took years to get here. But now that I'm here, I don't want to go back. I want to keep getting better at this. I want to get to the point where I'm like the saints. I'm just totally in love with God so much that I just yearn to be with Him. And I have no worldly attachments anymore to people, places, or things. I will enjoy them while they're here, but I won't care if I don't have them. That's what I want. That is what it means to be set free. When Christ set you free, you are free indeed. He comes to set you free from deception, from sin and death, from the ways of the world, from ignorance of the scriptures, and He comes to set you free from being addicted to things of the world and of the flesh. And so you're like lighter than air. You're free. You're free in Christ to be a free thinker, to think on heavenly things, to preach, to, I don't know, you're free to get ready to, like a butterfly breaking free from their cocoon. They are born again from an ugly worm in a cocoon to this big beautiful butterfly, and then they fly away. And that's what Jesus does. He transforms your heart and mind until you're ready to come out of this cocoon, this worldliness, and have a totally new life and just get your wings and fly. And then you're ready for heaven. So you're supposed to be, you go into a cocoon and you come out a saint. You come out a saint. You're supposed to be becoming a saint. And nowadays people don't even like to hear that word. They laugh at you. Oh, holy. Oh, he wants to be holy. Oh, he wants to be a saint. Did you hear that, everybody? He wants to be a saint. Yeah. Why is that? That's ridiculous. That's immature and stupid for people to be that way. But you don't really hear people saying anymore they want to be holy, they want to be virtuous, they want to be righteous, they want to be a saint. But these are things that God commands of Christians to become. Otherwise, you're not going to heaven. So newsflash, apostate, lukewarm church. You need to get back to tradition and start reading about the saints and becoming like the next Saint Therese or the next Mother Teresa or the next Padre Pio or the next Saint Anthony, because if you don't, you're toast. Literally. Hell is very hot. So don't be toast, because toast will burn.